Braincake is a delicious, sweet nourishment created by combining two or more grains.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Braincake. Got me, Kiwi, got Jer Bear, we got Hambone, we got Gunboi.
What up?
What you guys been into, though? Let's pretend like we haven't been talking for the last few minutes.
I don't know, man.
You know what is funny, though, is though we do talk before we start the podcast, we do just never ask each other what we've been into.
That is true. We don't.
That's because usually nothing's happening in Kentucky at all anyway.
What you been into?
True.
Nothing. That's honestly, that's the standard Kentuckian answer right there. Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yep. Everybody says that.
Yeah.
What you know? Nothing.
That's actually like, for me, that's something I've had to break. Like, that's a habit I've been trying to break. Like, I've noticed that I answer that way instinctually.
You got plenty of stuff going on all the time, you know? But
Yeah.
what are you doing? Nothing?
But, you know, it's like, I'm like, does anybody really want to hear that? Or do they just want to hear, like, not much?
If you don't answer, you're considered an asshole, too. Like, it's like you're expected to give some answer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
You're expected to give a casual answer to kind of get through it. You're not expected to like unload on the person who's asking you because they're mostly just asking you because they're expected to ask you.
yeah, can you imagine that? A guy's like, hey, what you been into, man? And he's like, just literally for like 30 minutes. And the guy's like trying to get a word in. And he's just like, and then I had to go poop. And it was okay poop. And I wiped and it was, I thought it was okay. I had some dumb on the toilet paper, but I had to go fishing in 10 minutes. So I just pulled my pants up and
Ran off. Mud-budding
like-
my way through the rivers, you know.
That's when you have to do like George Carlin and start using your body to motion that you're leaving
yeah,
and just walk away from them.
That don't work. That in Eastern Kentucky, that don't work.
They follow
You
you.
can motion all day, but if there's something else,
You ain't
They
getting
gotta
away, you ain't getting away from an old man's handshake that ain't seen you in a while.
yeah,
You ain't-
try to
you're not-
avoid it.
and you'll do that
He's
handshake
like-
6 times.
One of those two-arm shakes where he's got your arm and your elbow, like he's just giving you a shake, man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then if he gets the back pat, man, that's a success. That's a final finish right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like the handshake
one of
into
the
the back pat.
like a good old slapping, like old men slapping on us.
That's the off-brand Toys R Us is slapping
I'm
on it.
thinking about old man slapping.
It's the old man slapping.
When I think old man slapping, I think of a big old long ball sack slapping.
Oh,
Oh God,
damn, man.
that's terrible, man.
Yeah.
That's gross.
Yeah,
Like I don't.
Yeah, I know. That's what went through my head though when you said it.
I thought like old man smacking the old hag, you know, smacking the old woman. Old man taking it out on the church going sweet nice lady and
Church going sweet nice lady.
She didn't make them cookies up to my standards, my gosh.
He makes her speak in tongues.
The reason your dinner tastes bad though is because
I'm gonna beat her with a snake.
do what, Gunboi?
I said the reason your dinner tastes bad is because she's been slowly poisoning him with arsenic for beating her ass.
This is true.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah.
step is rat poisoning.
And then you write the song, what was the freaking Dixie Chicks song, man?
Goodbye, Earl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's an awesome song, honestly. Like it's
All that
legit.
hadn't been for them going over to France. And if they'd have done it in any country other than France, it would have been something else too. But they went to France and talked shit about the president while we was going to war.
Yeah.
And that made us
Yeah.
look bad at the time when we were real irrational. And whenever I listen to them now, I can't help but think about that.
Well, what was that? What was that song they wrote afterwards? It was like a popular song that they wrote after all that shit happened when they kind of came back. It's like, I'm not ready to back down. says I'm mad as hell, then I turn and go round and round.
Dude, no, don't sing it. We'll get struck. We won't. We'll be off YouTube in like 5 seconds.
Well, I just hope anybody who did know that song can sing along. It'll be worth the copyright strike.
I don't remember. I don't remember anything really about them when they came back, because at that point I had just quit listening to country music for the most part.
Did you stop listening to country music for a specific reason, or did you just like fall out
faded?
of it?
Yeah, it just kind of fell out of it. The people I was influenced by at that time in my life just kind of brought a different genre taste in music altogether.
About what time period was that? Because for me, I grew up with country and like rock, and I guess my musical horizon probably started expanding I guess it always expands kind of, huh?
You never have less songs, but
Yeah. You can't have songs taken away that you've heard.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how you can remember lyrics to a song you've only heard a couple of times and you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Well, you can remember lyrics to songs from like 20 years ago.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
You don't even realize you know those songs until they're played.
And music. Go ahead, Hambo.
I was going to say, whenever 9/11 comes around and stuff, the automatic theme song in my head is like that Alan Jackson song that he wrote and performed not long after that.
Do you remember? Is that it?
Remember when?
Have you forgotten?
Yeah. Have you forgotten?
Oh,
yeah.
I don't think I know that, but I love Alan Jackson legitimately, so,
But
I mean,
me and you,
Remember When's the love song. That's old people's married music.
Yeah, Remember When is a song that freaking makes me want to cry. Like, I don't listen to a lot of country music, but just throughout time, you're exposed to so much of it that you're you're probably gonna fall into liking it easier because you're in the South too. We are.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're constantly out. I mean, it's in my DNA to listen to like some of it, I guess.
Well,
I feel like bluegrass is an obscurity, okay? But there are some bluegrass artists that I actually enjoy. But like overall in the music scene, it feels like such an obscure group of musicians and fans.
That's true.
And it's strange to...
I'm the kind of hipster where I listen to bluegrass. That's the kind of hipster that I am. It's not like any kind of alternative rock or nothing like that. It's fucking gospel bluegrass.
I was just gonna say that there's this woman, like a family friend, older lady, and a bluegrass song was on the TV, and she was like talking about bluegrass music, and I was like, yeah, I actually like Blue Highway. That's a bluegrass band I know that I like. And she was like, you know what? We've met the members. We've met all the members. And I was like, that's how it is. Like, that's how freaking remote bluegrass is that you're fucking just your relative, your friend, your neighbor. They probably met the whole band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But most of the real authentic bluegrass comes out of Eastern Kentucky. And we're so low population over here. They say 8 degrees of separation from anybody in the world. I'd say there's about 2 degrees of separation between you and anybody in Eastern Kentucky.
That's true. Almost everybody you meet in some way is related to someone else you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it is everywhere. Like, you go to Walmart, you know everybody. In high school, you know everybody.
Well, I can't really say that up here. Living where I live, I can't really say that I've met a lot of people that are related, in a mass majority, like back in Perry County, where I know this person's entire family because they're all right there. There's no,
That's a good point. Like,
it's a very small community and et cetera.
you've moved, an hour and so away, and like now you're and also you have a bigger pool of people to pull from too.
Yeah, the population is like what, more than double what the population is there.
But it's also like our population is ridiculously low as well,
Yeah.
like compared to the rest of America.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, like Los Angeles or something like that.
they think it's ridiculous to have a town that has fucking 80 people, but it's definitely it's easy
Yep.
here.
Yeah.
That's literally where me and Kiwi's from. It's like that's 80 people. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, and then take that and compare how that city runs as a city compared to New York City. Like, what the hell is going on there, man?
No. So it's no wonder why. It's no wonder how like people can meet the entire Bluegrass band, because most of them are entire families. Like the entire family is the Bluegrass band. So
yeah.
Like I know several families that go to different churches and stuff and play bluegrass gospel, and it's the whole family, like the mom, the dad, and the children, dude. And it's great talent and performance, man.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'm a guy that loves every form of music.
Me too.
Grandpa might do that.
Do what?
I said, you even have uncles sometimes. Hell, Grandpa might be there.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, there's a lot of that shit.
yeah. I mean, like as Adam said, like the freaking, like the spirit, I can enjoy that in anything. Like that's what makes me enjoy such a wide variety of music, is I can enjoy fucking J. Cole as much as I can enjoy a woman standing up on stage like praising the Lord and stringing a guitar, like that. If I can see that you have some kind of energy into it, then I can get behind it.
Yeah, commitment, dedication.
Yeah.
Is the key to music.
Like I've enjoyed video game music done orchestrally, like in an actual arena. Is it an arena? Is that what they're called, or what are they called? Like the dome areas where they play the violins and all that shit.
Yeah, man. Me and Jimothy.
Auditorium or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can enjoy music played. Is that what it's called, Gunner? Correct me on what type of building that is.
Is it a stage with like a big dome like that, and they're outside?
No, they're not outside. They're inside a building, and there was like foam, or like the wood and shit was angled a certain way to help the acoustics and all that. What is that called?
Well, I know an auditorium is like the ones where it's completely surrounded most of the time.
Okay.
Is that
was just like this was just a stage area, but it was meant for orchestral music, like nothing else really. Maybe opera.
Maybe an amphitheater, but I always thought those were outside.
Yeah. Anyways, regardless, I can enjoy, orchestral music played in a fashion like that live, and also enjoy, the gospel lady at my grandmother's church singing entirely without music. Like, what is that called? I can't even think of the music term now. Yeah, acapella.
Acapella. Yeah.
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 And just a group of them singing that way. And each of them in their own right is enjoyable to me because of the emotions it stirs, the feelings I get listening to it, regardless if I'm listening to the words or just like in the sense of no instruments for them. It was like the tone of their voice and just the way that it carries the music itself.
Yeah.
Without the instruments. It's really interesting to like, that's kind of what gets me into different music. Even in different languages, I feel like I can connect in a way of the emotions they're conveying through the music itself rather than the words.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And that helps me get into a wide variety of music, whether it's country or like EDM or just and guttural death metal that I just don't understand. I still get into the music itself.
Yeah,
well, we kind of forgot that that's how like all of our religions were passed down too. Is those a lot of those stories were sung in group settings. That's how you worship.
Yeah.
Like Psalms, or all the Psalms are songs of David. If you said Psalms, that's a song. So that specifically is a book of literal songs. And then the rest of it would have been sung too.
I mean, do you guys know, like, does music go back beyond language? How long?
I couldn't see how it could.
So music wouldn't exist without language.
No, I'm saying I don't think there's any way language could exist before music.
I will get back to you that on, fellas.
Okay, yeah, please do. Yeah. I mean, I emotionally connect with things hardcore. You know, like I'm like, it's the human spirit. Like, the human spirit evokes a lot of emotion out of me, and I can see that in music. I can see that in a family winning on fucking Fear Factor. I can see that in cheesy movie like Twilight. I can see, like, I'm moved by humanity. You know, I really am, like, powerful. And I don't know why I'm so susceptible to being moved by different forms of art, but I'm thankful for it.
Claus. You saw the people behind it. You know, It's like you take all that effort into account a lot more than a lot of people mainstream viewers do.
And the message, I think, like, everybody has a message, and I think their creations show their messages and show their values and show their creativity and their intelligence, and like that, you know, to me is like expression. It's amazing. It's amazing because art is trying to, is seeing, you know, is having a perspective on something. Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's what I would say. I will say that if something moves you emotionally, it's perhaps because it has in some way had the intentions of trying to move you, or maybe not. Help me out here, guys. What do you think?
I mean,
probably the hardest question in the world to answer is, what is art?
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, some people would far say that a fucking family winning on Fear Factor is art. You know, people shit on that for sure. And hey,
it is. They came together to make that.
Yeah, in a way, it's
They wanted to make a project that made you feel good. They wanted to elicit a response out of you.
Yeah, you know, game shows. How weird of a thing is that?
I think that's all stuff that I would call like constructed art. It's art that's made for a specific purpose. Usually it's money, but that doesn't make it not art.
Yeah.
It just makes it, sometimes it's less quality, like in some people's perception too. And that's the thing. There's no right or wrong when it comes to what's good or bad.
How many artists does it take to paint the beautiful picture that is Game of Thrones? You know what I'm saying? How many people does it take to create that piece of art? That's insanity.
Well, imagine how that dude who wrote it felt, that George R.R. Martin, because he just wrote a book, and then like they made that a real thing.
Yeah. So that goes both ways.
So the fundamental problem is the fact that we're thinking about art in terms of 17th and 18th century art, like music and paintings, instead of 19th and 20th century art, like motion pictures and audio and stuff like that. So when you consider the landscape of art changing with the fold of time and the advancements in technology, it's pretty interesting. Like, I would consider primetime TV shows art for that era. Like, the Jetsons and, you know, the Boomerang in and of itself, most of the shows that they show is a collection of art pieces from those eras of history, in a sense. I mean, even though they're cartoons, they still reflect, like, in a way, how the population was feeling at that time. because cartoons always have. All media has.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And think, on the scale of like what art can be, it can be that, which is a group of people doing different things, animation, script writing, voice acting, and that can be incredible art that can make you cry. And then a poem that you find like on the fucking train tracks, wadded up, that nobody even knows about, that your friend or neighbor named Ted wrote and wiped his ass with it and threw it out before he went to go fishing. And like that shit can make you cry too. It's guys, humanity is art. It really is.
Yeah, in the universal scale of things, like when you look at evolution as a whole, it's art in and of its own self. Like the way plants evolved, the way certain species evolved to survive.
Beautiful art. Beautiful art. Like
the stars are art from creation itself. Like it's an interesting art piece. It's a reflection of time when you look at the stars, because it's it's the past.
Yeah, man. Something I fucking consider art is my freaking pal Hambone down there. We had this crew called the Reapers. And, dude, I had when we were kids, I made this ornament. It was a Christmas ornament that got busted, and I was like, hold on, guys. This doesn't need to be thrown away. This is now a Reaper's ornament. And I fucking drew on it and like a fucking skull and like hung it up. And like, I just found that not too long ago. But that's like, dude, we were fucking roving gangs on bicycles, and we
were
as children.
we raised fucking hell in a town of 60. We sure did.
And that, having a little piece of something, having something that is a reminder to you of something from your past, like it means everything.
I would just say human creation in general is art. Because, we're one of the few animals on this planet that transforms the environment around them at their will and creates what they want. Like that is ingenious art.
Yeah, what I want to see is a picture of like the evolutionary chain, and I want slowly it to be evolving, like, from ape to man, rising up, spine getting longer and more vertical, and he's just getting a fucking artist, like a fucking paintbrush and canvas as it grows too. Like, whoosh, 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 we're humanity, bitch.
Well, we're going to throw some flutes in with that, because according to Psychology Today, it says music did not emerge as a result of the emergence and development of language. Music came first. The language part came later. Okay. And they go on to talk about how people probably used or imitates birds, which would be music, in a sense, to communicate vast distances while hunting animals without alerting the animals.
Well, and you have like wood knocking and primates.
Yeah.
That's basically like percussion.
Yeah.
Man, wow. So what? Do primates make music with wood knocking?
Oh, primates have entered the Stone Age.
It doesn't sound great. Like you wouldn't buy like a wood knocking album. Like
I might. Show me the fucking ape that's releasing it, dude. That's what I'm gonna get into. I'm gonna be a terrible animal owner. I'm gonna buy a monkey. I'm gonna buy a monkey that can tap. It don't even have to tap good, but I'm gonna monetize that fucking monkey.
A tap dancing monkey?
Or the monkey would be with 4 arms.
It'll be Koko Gorilla releases the album Wood with Grubs.
Wood with Grubs. Yeah, like, is it gonna be titling these tracks? Like, what the fuck would an ape that kind of knows language title a musical track?
I guess she would just describe what it is. I mean,
I tap wood.
It's the most primitive form of language. It makes sense.
Yeah. Wow, man.
Not saying that it would kind of scare me if she had this like total like realization and come up with this ingenious new title for it.
Oh my God.
I would be like, whoa, wait a minute.
What if it is the passion for music and an expression that makes the ape learn the language so it can express, because it has a message of saving other apes. Oh shit. Think of that. And it starts to learn language just so it can express it to these humans, because it's noticing these humans are giving it a reaction, right? For, oh, you like tap? You like me tap? You like me tap, human? And she learns that, and she's like, okay, language express me tap to you. And then she starts learning the human language, man. She's reading books. The people are going crazy.
Has a Helen Keller moment.
Yeah, she's on the news everywhere. She's flipping the books, man. Just flipping, like licking the tongue and flipping the book. And she's got an iPad. She upgrades to an iPad. Somebody buys her an iPad. Wow, man.
Oh my God.
We got to teach her to do cave painting before we teach her to write. We got to invent a system of hieroglyphics for her first.
We don't have to take her to the entire human evolution.
She's gonna learn.
That's the proven method, bro. One success.
She's got an iPad though. She can get on Tinder now. The monkey's fucking.
Oh no!
Fucking monkey gets Tinder.
It's a fucking monkey.
And like, you know, you add her on Facebook and she keeps poking you and sending you Farmville requests.
Yeah.
What is this? 2006.
She doesn't. She's so primitive. She doesn't know that it's an outdated game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is terrible. Quit being a speciesist.
Yeah.
But they really have. I've seen an article about some. I don't know if they're apes or monkeys that have evolved into the Stone Age because they're using stone tools to crack nuts.
Yeah,
and they use the same rocks.
And guess where I've seen it? Hambone on Rogan.
Let me tally that one up. We're up to like 50. I mean, it's all cool.
Use wooden tools. They've always taken sticks and shoved them into ant mounds and brought the ants out and cleaned them.
I mean, all these animals are incredibly intelligent.
That's how our tools started, and then we learned we could manipulate the environment around us, and we went fucking crazy with it.
Birds
now we're trying to go to another planet,
and nobody gives them any fucking credit whatsoever. They're like, yeah, look, the monkeys are like hitting rocks on nuts, and the birds are like, I just built like a fucking 2-story apartment.
I used my saliva to build a nest on the side of this cliff above this water that's raging below me. And it's 30 fucking degrees.
I make mortgage payments every month with 3 children on worms. Okay?
Yes.
Give me credit.
Yeah.
I haven't seen my husband in 10 years.
Make that a part of your fucking meditation, bitch. Like when you're sitting there in your morning, like thanking the world for the blessings and the breath in your body and how amazing that is. Take a second to also be like, damn. These animals out here really be hustling. They really be out there doing some crazy stuff. That's just like you, dog. That's just like you trying to get by.
The ant colony has its own power, though. Like we would never measure up to an ant.
No, never.
That's like saying that the humans in Star Trek don't measure up to the Borg. Come on, man.
Dude,
you gotta think we're inherently morally better than them. We have individuality.
Yeah.
They have individuality. They're just born into a role that fits best for their society.
I'm not trying to say all ants look alike, but all ants look alike.
You know what else an ant do? Carry a ridiculous amount.
10 times their own body weight, baby.
Yeah. On the
range. They're basically the meathead, the meathead Muscle Beach dudes of the animal computer.
So,
who would have thought the ant would be the meathead of the fucking animal universe?
Well, to be fair, the soldiers of the colony are pretty aggressive at times. So, but
they're
think about it.
Hacked up jocks from fucking sororities. Like
insects are limited to their size based on the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. So,
wasps are transgender. Fucking What did you just say, Gunboi? Because now I'd made a transgender joke and offended a bunch of people, and now it's not even like a good
This
joke.
episode is over.
I said that they were that ants were the. What did I say? I don't know.
Wasps. I know what it is. Wasps are roided up transgender men turning into women. That's what wasps are.
Do wasps do that? Do that?
You said that they were aggressive and roided up. You said wasps were aggressive and roided up. So
ants.
Oh, ants?
Yeah, we were talking about ants, man.
Oh, well, sorry.
Smoking
Join the colony,
tobacco
Kiwi.
again.
Yeah.
Marlboro Reds, beautiful white Marlboro Red cigarettes from Philip Morris Tobacco Company.
Yeah.
It's them damn Reptar fucking cereal back there.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. It's that sticky, icky Reptar.
It's like a Scooby snack. You can't trust it.
Yeah. Hey. What do you mean you can't trust a Scooby snack? Scooby always trusts a Scooby snack. Always.
Well, Scooby was an adult, so
Look, now hang on. Like him and
Scooby
Shaggy,
could make its own decisions.
Scooby was an adult.
him and Shaggy, man, they would go to random houses and find food and eat it and just trust it, man. Gotta
Well,
trust.
that's what happens. That's what happens when you're on Scooby snacks.
They went to random houses and fixed food that wasn't theirs. They basically were stealing hundreds of dollars worth of groceries every time with those sandwiches.
What happens when you're on Scooby snacks?
Yeah.
Get the munchies, man.
They might go to jail.
A different brand of school snacks is the munchies. Those are they give you those in the sack lunches with the sandwiches when you're on a field trip.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I like munchies, especially the cheese ones.
They are very good, the cheese ones.
I don't know.
There's apparently a new Cheeze-Itz brand snack mix, and I always said they need to do that instead of just putting like fake Cheez-Its into the Chex Mix and shit.
But you know what? I like them fake Cheez-Its, man. I fucking live for them motherfuckers.
But what if they could replace them with real Cheez-Its?
No, fuck that. Leave those fake ones in there. They're better. They fit.
Okay.
They
All
fit
right.
the munchies more. I would honestly buy those individually as like bags of just the fake
What about cheese nips?
cheese nips. I don't know. I don't know if I've had cheese nips. Is that what's in them?
You ever, like the shaped ones, the SpongeBob ones? Well, you're a little bit old for the SpongeBob cheese nips.
Yeah. I
Tell you
didn't
what
do
I have
SpongeBob
had.
cheese nips.
I've had some SpongeBob Krabby Patties, man. Some SpongeBob Krabby Patty gummies.
Yeah, man.
I remember those.
Them's the best.
Yeah.
I like taking them apart.
Oh yeah. And you know what? Like isn't it like the individual pieces actually kind of have their own flavors, textures a little bit?
Yeah.
Texture.
Okay.
I always save the pickle for last because it's the most gummyish of the gummies.
I saved the patty for last because I don't know, it's like real soft.
I just ate it all together.
Well, of course
The buns they're too rubbery. They're like tough almost.
They're old, man. They've been in that fucking bread bag for a
They
while.
ain't manufactured none since they did it the first time. They probably were like, "This is gonna sell through the ass," and they
Yeah.
wound
Nickelodeon
up being like
close.
a neat favorite.
Don't like even Reese's and like Hershey's, don't they have their own like trail mix too?
They're definitely partnered up with somebody, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I think they do.
Yeah.
I mean, like a little baggie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
I bet they
actually,
do
I don't
something
remember, but I mean, it makes sense though, considering I don't know. I heard that.
It sounds like a cat.
Getting smushed. It was like a super squeak.
Yeah. All right. You sure it wasn't that damn dog?
It might be creaking its head, man. I don't know. You all right back there? Let me just.
I think it's more.
He wants me to hold her.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Say hi.
to the viewers out there, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, you get to see what Keegan's holding.
Yeah, this gives you incentive. Come on over to the YouTube, and this is the type of things you can get. You can get to see me hold a baby doll from like the 1960s. That was my mother's.
It's creepy.
And it's not creepy. So leave it alone.
No, I'm going to vouch that this thing is haunted, and I've seen it move many times that I have stayed at your house throughout my childhood.
As you can see, though, her eyes may be ugly and faded and
she wants your soul.
She just wants your love, man, and I'm just, she deserves to hang out on the pod. She wants to be on the podcast, man. Look, see, so I'm going to put her back there. She's getting embarrassed
she's
now.
She's possessed you, man.
She don't like to be on camera, so I'm gonna put her back. Well, she likes to be on camera, just not up close and personal with it.
She's
gonna hide in the dark corner.
Yeah, she's gonna leap off of whatever you set her on and choke you down.
You know what? My thing is like whenever I think of dolls coming to life, I have no fear of it. I used to. When I was a kid, I had an intense fear of it. I guess out of necessity to move on with my life, I had to find a way to overcome it. And the way that I deal with like worrying about dolls coming to life and killing me is I'm like, if I die by a doll coming to life and killing me, how unique of a damn death is that? At least I get to go down in some weird ass stuff, man. I freaking see a doll coming at me. I'm like, oh my God. Freaking choking me out, a doll looking at me. I'm like, man, I'm glad if this can happen in real life, I'm glad I'm gone. This is scary, but what a unique way to go.
I thought you were going to say you realized you could overpower it and just like break it immediately.
That too. If it don't have a weapon, what is this freaking made of plastic? I can bend its arm.
Did you not at one time own a puppet that used to be like in your room when we was kids?
Oh yeah, I had 2 puppets.
And how did you live with that every night of your life, man? 'Cause I have that same fear. Like I still hate them.
No, they were like stick your like hand up in its back and like pull a string type of puppets. They were like.
Never tell you rob people.
They were like puppets straight off of that R.L. Stein book.
Like Spanky or whatever his name was.
Yeah. But like, it was difficult some nights. Most nights it was fine. But some nights you just be sitting there and you'd start thinking about your foot being out of the cover, and then you want to get up to go pee, and you're afraid that when you stick your leg over that they're going to grab you or something, or slit your fucking Achilles heel like Chucky would do or something.
Oh.
Yeah, so those fears, they'd creep up every now and then, but most times it was cool. I just watched Family Guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about childhood trauma here involving dolls coming to life. Fear of.
I mean, what do you guys? Did you guys ever have that fear?
Oh,
big time.
I've had some bizarre spiritual, if you want to call it spiritual. At this point in my life, I'm not sure how to explain it because I'm not a spiritual person anymore. Mm-hmm. And I can't explain the things that happened at those moments in my life where I think I encountered a spiritual entity, moving furniture at an uncle and aunt's house. And then in that same house, I had a huge fear of the going up the stairs to like the main top bedroom. Like it creeped me the hell out. I always ran past the stairs to get to the bathroom on the other side. And then it come to find out the bathroom had like a square hole cut in the ceiling so that you could see from upstairs down into the bathroom. It was fucking weird. Yeah, this house was bizarre, but there was a lot of creepy things I experienced there. And I'm not sure how to explain it because I know that humans are basically, 90% water. We're basically Jell-O with electronics or electric going through it. We try to make sense of the world the best we can.
Yeah.
So maybe my brain just did that, and that was the experience. You know, I'm not sure how to explain it.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, it doesn't even have to be, like, the creepiness doesn't even have to take a physical form. Sometimes the creepiness is just the aura.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes the creepiness is just like, you just get a feeling and chills go down your spine and like, okay, did a ghost just jerk me off or what? Like, why did I feel that? Like, I was walking through the hallway one time, man, and like, I just got this feeling of terror and like creep like roll down my spine, and like, this was just a year or so ago, and I'm like, man, yeah, I'm not even the type to like justify things as being ghostly experiences, but I don't know what I can say that was.
I think there's like stuff that we built houses, and I think that we don't think about it, but sometimes we accidentally build them in ways that would make us anxious, like our animal brains. Like a tight corner or something like that makes you feel like you're in an enclosed space and that you're in the dark and what's over there. And
Oh my God, dude, I just thought of the best business plan. You've got to become a man who builds houses that are perfect for our human brains to perfectly satisfy all of our ancestral and like animal instincts. And like, you know, you'll never feel creeped out in your house. You'll always feel safe in every room. I'll make it to where there's no dark corners. And I just go on Joe Rogan. You know, he sees what I do on Instagram. I build these, what could I be called? I'm a evolution house building man. And go on Joe Rogan, talk to him. And I got all my customer base right there from his listeners.
22nd century housing.
that was 2, Adam. Get the clicker. And, write them up twice.
I'm writing them down.
How many points is that going to be off my final grade?
It's going on your permanent record.
It's 70% of the score. Just keep that in mind.
Oh my God, that just seems unfair. Is it 70% for everybody else? My friend said it was only 20%.
No, I'm not going to tell you until it's been 100 or whatever, like one complete year of braincake.
Okay. Oh my God, yeah. That's, you know what, Jimothy needs to start keeping that in the counter, in the descriptions too, just adding to it, and or just keeping a personal dialogue. He's the one that has to bear.
You would quickly surpass the number of episodes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
Like JRE is on like 1,500 and some. You would quickly surpass the number of JRE actual episodes.
Oh yeah, like I would. Yeah, so there's just like 1,500 or something.
Like a year. Way less time than how long he's been doing.
Yeah, and you know, I might just get a picture of like, what if I just get him tattooed like on my cheek, like a face tattoo, like a popular rapper would get nowadays, you know, with Joe Rogan. Yeah. Like, and I would
like to see somebody
neck
with a
tattoo, side neck tattoo, man.
Well, yeah, I'd get Joe Rogan as a side neck tattoo right here on the left neck, and on my cheek, I would get #podlife, like right below my eye.
#podlife.
You don't want damage across the tip of your hairline right here, like the Joker in the new Suicide movie that came out. The new one that came out like 4 years ago.
That's how I use the word new too, especially for movies because I'm always 10 years behind.
Man, how do you feel about like Joe Rogan's move to Spotify and the fact that now his YouTube doesn't have like I think he deleted most of the content on YouTube.
Yeah, there's like 100 episodes still up because he said that he was going to do all this, and everybody's freaking out like they didn't get told about it at the end of every episode. And
yeah, I mean, unless if you're a regular Joe Rogan podcast listener, you know that change is coming.
You have to look at the numbers he was pulling in on those YouTube videos. There's no way he's making like 2 and 3 million views on Spotify. There's not even really that many concurrent users when you look at their statistics. Like,
Well, yeah, that's what we should do. Is figure out, yeah, like will you look that up, Jer? Like how many type in like how many people listen to podcasts on Spotify or something. Maybe just, I mean, you could just do Spotify amount of Spotify users worldwide, whatever. Like it can't be as big of a pool of people as YouTube has because YouTube is a free service. So obviously that paywall being there. And Spotify is not cheap. Spotify, like, there are streaming services for movies and TV shows that are cheaper than Spotify, which is just a music and podcast service. So
They're both free with ads.
They're both what?
They're both free with ads.
Both free with ads. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Spotify's, you can listen to anything free with ads now?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Wow, Spotify's trying to conquer the universe then. Like first they got Joe Rogan, and I mean there's something to be said that, you know, do you know who Lee Siot is, Gunboi?
Mm-mm.
Joey Diaz's like producer of his podcast.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know his last name. If you had just said Lee, it would have also not got me, but it would have got me closer because I didn't know his last name.
Yeah. Okay. Well, like I know there was an episode where, put it down on the counter, Joe Rogan was on Joey Diaz's podcast, and Lee, they laughed at him. They said it, like, people uploaded it saying like Lee's high moments or whatever, and it was him saying like, I think the future is in audio. He's like, I think because you can listen to things while you do other things. So like you can do things while you listen, and you can't do that and watch things. And everybody was saying that, you know, even Joe Rogan in the episode, I think, was like, what were you talking about? You're too high, Lee. And I was like, I don't know, man. I think he's on to something, because people are getting to be more and more about like productivity and like all about consuming content while they're doing other things. And I think podcasts allow people to do that.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess I was going to say, like, you know, that gives, like, we've always been an interesting group of people, you know. Maybe we got something worth to say. Maybe somebody that could, maybe we're reaching out to somebody, you know, maybe agrees or just thinks we're funny, you know.
Yeah.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. It's like, you know, there's always a home for you with somebody. You just have to find them, you know. Everybody has an audience. It just depends if the audience finds them or not. And I mean, yeah, I think we have like cool, genuine conversations because we've been friends with each other so long, and this gives us a way to not only continue being friends with each other in cool ways, but being in a project together, and like, there's no reason not to do it, and we just hope people can come along, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's so great about podcasting is everybody has their tribe, and hopefully we can like find our tribe, you know, where our tribe can find us.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that the folks around here don't find us though. I don't think it's our tribe. I don't think. I think
No.
a lot of old Christian ladies would have heart attacks if they heard half the shit we'd say.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I feel like that's 75% of the population around here.
Yeah.
That's not what we want, but you know, we're just speaking our mind.
But you know, think of it's pretty incredible what Joe Rogan's done, that he's made a podcast become worth $100 million. You know, he's made episodes just being him and somebody talking worth $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
This is true.
And, you know, most people he talks to is someone that's famous that you would like to learn something about. You know, we're just regular folks, you know, from a great distance away, but we all know each other, you know.
But
sharing minds.
Yeah, when you look at Rogan, you said that he makes his business is worth $100 million. Well, it goes back to the point of that was looking at it with the YouTube statistics, you know, moving to Spotify. They so according to this, in the third quarter of 2020, Spotify had 144 million premium subscribers worldwide. So that's the premium. That doesn't count free users, okay? And then YouTube at the same time in 2019 had 2 billion users worldwide. 2 billion.
Shit.
But
How
is
do
that
you-
free or premium?
Do what?
But is that free or premium YouTube users?
That's total YouTube users, period.
What's
Yeah.
the premium number?
I mean, the thing is though, like with YouTube Premium, you don't get like restricted to much content by like not having YouTube Premium, you know, like which I guess you don't with Spotify either. But the last thing I knew of Spotify was that you could listen to an artist, but you could only shuffle. So if we move past that,
I think you can only shuffle still.
okay.
Yeah.
So like YouTube Premium gives you some extra stuff, but man, I have YouTube Red and it's just so I can not have ads, but
Right.
it's definitely not for the original content on there. It's pretty awful.
Well,
Well,
This
I
is-
got it for the ads, but I did find they have a lot of good movies also.
Really, like,
Agreed.
All the James Bond movies and shit.
oh well. See, somebody, the guy who I'm sure there was a listener out there who, whenever I was talking about art, their favorite was they were imagining James Bond. Yeah, James Bond's fucking awesome. That's my favorite thing. That's the art I love, and I'm like, sorry, dude, I don't like it. I've never been able to get into James Bond for some reason.
What?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah, I feel like Peter
I'm such a fan.
in that episode of Family Guy where he's defending himself about not liking The Godfather to the whole family when they're about to die. He's like, I got one last thing to say. Did not much care for The Godfather. Didn't care
Everybody's
for
like,
it.
what?
Yeah. That's the way I feel
no.
often.
like it's, I don't know, man. Would you look at the statistics here that say that I couldn't find anything on the premium subscriber account, but it says 90% of people say they discover new brands or products on YouTube.
Man,
Over
I'm
2 billion as an audience worldwide. I mean, there's no way to compete with that platform on Spotify. There just isn't. They haven't had time to grow to that size. People don't just jump platform at a whim. That's asking people to download a new app. And then some users, like maybe people in my parents' range and such, they understand their device enough to use an app, but they don't care to understand to learn a new app that does the same thing, basically. Like my mom, she would rather just use YouTube for her music because she's used to YouTube. I can't get her to use Spotify or anything else. She's just like, I'm not interested. It's too complicated. That's what she says.
Do you think that generation is also the generation that's less likely to listen to podcasts?
I would say most likely, but they would still discover them through YouTube like that. The click-through rate on YouTube, like their algorithm is ridiculous. So if just by chance their nephew or somebody is at their house or grandkid or somebody and they cast a Rogan podcast on their smart TV, then YouTube is smart enough to be like, hey, we'll start recommending that because it seems like these people enjoyed it. They watched the whole video, you know.
Yeah.
My mom actually got into Joe Rogan a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible.
Well,
the Gen Xers and the baby boomers do it.
Right. And I would say a majority of their audience already has Spotify, but there's going to be a large portion, like me, for example. I'm not going to listen to Joe Rogan with ads. And I'm not going to pay for Spotify because I already pay for YouTube. What the fuck's the point? I already got YouTube Music, which downloads to my phone automatically when I add songs to my playlist. And it can be any YouTube video I want to go in my music playlist for YouTube Music. It's not restricted to just music.
Well, I'm going to be honest, like Spotify, I really like it, but, and I have liked it for a while, as a way to consume music, but like, man, whenever I try to watch Joe Rogan podcasts on there, and I'll even download them, like I'll download them and they won't play. It'll just be like a black screen, and I'll like reset the app and everything, and it'll just like never play like after I've downloaded it if I don't have service. So I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like that kind of makes me mad. Like, what's going on? Like, you know, that's the worst part about, like, that's what makes people call in angry, is like paying for a service and, you know, not being restricted just because of some bullshit bug like that.
Yeah.
Do you know if they've sorted out the video thing with Spotify?
I
They
think
got the
so.
video up and stuff.
Yeah.
On Xbox, and I'm not even able to access it. I thought that they just hadn't rolled it out yet.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
see, there you go. That's some more things. Like on YouTube, you didn't have to worry about it. You just open the YouTube app and boom, there's the video, the audio.
yeah, here's a question I have, guys. Do you think that we are going to see more and more and more content creators until eventually it's like almost everyone in the United States is going to have some kind of platform where they create videos or make podcasts or whatever, you know, because like TikTok, for example, has made a lot more people start creating content that wouldn't have otherwise. And there are more podcasts coming up, like podcast amounts are growing every year. Like, what do you think? Is that like,
What are we going to do once we've all done everything? You know, like, we're running out of ideals. Like, if everybody's creating up to what?
I think eventually, like Twitch streaming, live podcasting, etc., will become the mainstream media to consume instead of like movies and TV shows.
Like
and
chilling.
That'll just be the way of life. You know?
yeah,
You know,
like instead of consuming like Netflix and stuff, are we going to be consuming more of each other's content?
like, would
Netflix
you?
is YouTube's biggest competitor, isn't they?
What?
Netflix?
Or is it Facebook? Is Netflix or Facebook YouTube's biggest competitor?
Well, yeah, I'm sure. Like, yeah, like, you know, TikTok is like a social media thing. It's like now the separation between what's content, like creative content, and what's just like your social media like image. It's like it's getting really interchangeable.
Yeah.
Um,
Your digital identity is growing, and the amount of digital information that's out there is also growing. Like,
yeah.
watching different videos on TikTok and shit, people could actually map out your house and your location and all that shit. It's pretty crazy.
Listen, man, it's a frightening thing to think that there are like 10-year-olds out here whose friends are going to be influenced of their personality through the TikTok videos they make. Like, I
Yeah.
Oh
mean,
my God.
like,
Yeah.
you know, that's going to be a part of your history. Like, that's going to be a part, like something you can find and other people can find.
It's forever.
Yeah.
It's documented.
Yeah. Documented. And once it's on the internet, it's like,
It's forever.
I mean, it's,
You might not want to remember it, but it's always going to be there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could erase it, but what's the chances that somebody hasn't
Already grabbed it.
Yeah.
Or what's the chances that the company who owns the servers is actually going to erase it off their servers, and then it's not going to get found in some data breach somewhere?
Yeah.
You know, that makes you think, like, you know, eventually, like you say, it's going to get to the point where, you know, we're watching people like us, like just chilling with whoever, you know, making content with this person. They had a hit video to it's like you're living that movie that Jim Carrey was in, that you're the star of a TV show that's being produced in front of you.
Yeah, man. Think of what it's like to become a meme when you're not ready to become a meme. What happens when you're the freaking Catch Me Outside? Well, she got to go to Dr. Phil. That's unfair. The people who
She meant
like
to become a meme also. She was trying to become a meme, let's be honest.
yeah. But you know,
But like,
is that?
Brad, or what his name was, what's Bad Like Brian? He didn't ask to become a meme.
or even to have eyes on you. Like it's not even to become a meme. You can just have a lot of eyes on you in just a second for anything.
Look at this. For example, there's YouTubers that pull in more views per video than the Super Bowl gets.
I mean, yeah. I mean, how do you not know that? Like, you fucking make a post on Twitter and you share it, and like and so many people like it. It's just like fucking mania that it gets shared. A celebrity shares it. That's like been shown to 100,000 more people. They keep sharing it, and then your post, which leads directly back to your page, it's out. Like, you could just become like under the eyes of so many people immediately at all times.
Like, think about the people who tweeted the president and he responded. How many people saw that tweet?
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
like, simple.
and how powerful is that? My God.
I mean, your digital footprint is far and wide. Like, they could literally dig up any of your profiles with your email, basically.
I mean, think of how perfect of a freaking, like, think of the leverage you have as a celebrity with 500,000 followers, that if somebody shit talks you in your comments and you shit talk them back one time, you can like sick 500,000 people on somebody, you know, like,
or 100 and some million people.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
in
good God.
Case.
I would be, dude, that's irresponsible. Did Trump do that for real?
No, I was talking in PewDiePie's case. I wasn't talking about in like Twitter's case.
Okay.
I don't think Trump has that many followers on Twitter.
Well, it don't matter. If he responded to a hater on Twitter, they're fucked, dude. Like, he shouldn't do that if he's done that.
He does. That's what he's famous for.
Yeah.
That's what Donald Trump as president has done for the majority of his term, is just respond to haters on Twitter.
There's a congressional library of tweets. That's funny. There's a congressional library of tweets, and some of them are replies to people.
What, he replies to people? So he does. And, you know, I guess you could call his whole presidency a response to the haters. That's like his tagline, man.
Yeah, I want to blame him for something.
What?
He has ruined that I can't wear a red hat.
I agree.
That people now just see a red hat and automatically think a MAGA hat. Like, it's subliminally in their head to hate a red hat.
That's pretty crazy. That's the power of freaking that hat is like the artistic equivalent of a song that gets stuck in your head.
And it was the stuff he manufactured. Like, the hat was kind of something your grandpa would wear or something. Like, I don't know. It looked like something from 1990.
Regular South Coast hat.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, and classic hat.
I got a new hat at work, and it's the company logo, and it's solid red. You know, I've got people giving me the eye, man. I'm like, no, not like that.
You better wear a helmet underneath that hat, boy. Somebody's going to clock you in the head with a brick for that.
If Kentucky's open carry, I'd just get a gun.
What, him? He should, for self-defense? Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's a red flag community, and then, you know, you've got problems.
Well, yeah, I mean, actually,
we're still get a concealed carry.
Yeah, you probably could, but, you know,
it's
they red flag you enough, they'll take it away, right?
Well, that's the good thing about the liberals, man, is you know, at least if you go to war with them, they're the ones without the guns. So,
I mean,
they're very easy to defeat in a war.
Yeah, that's true. They're very easy to defeat in a war, which pretty much takes your life. So maybe you should just keep.
When they just gave up when Chaz happened, and they just kind of gave up.
Yeah, I mean,
perhaps they've demised the plan to have others fight for them instead of fighting the war themselves.
So what are you saying? Like,
they ran out of Mountain Dew and the internet was out, and they went home.
Probably. That sounds about right, honestly. They got mad and they just all went home.
Let me be clear, man. Jeez, I understand. Like, I understand if you have a fear of guns or whatever and think that they should be restricted. I agree with you on that. Some things should be restricted, but I don't think we should take them completely. Although I don't think that's what most any normal person is arguing for anyway. But whatever.
No, but they do want to take away AR-15s because they don't know what the hell they are, and those people need to figure out and take a gun safety course and pick one up and shoot it a couple times, and they'll figure out what it is.
What gets me is the things that happen that are bad. The people who have the weapon should not have had that weapon, or it was not theirs. It was stolen, or it was never a true law-abiding citizen.
Yeah, well,
from my understanding.
It's a problem when somebody can go get access to a gun and not be, assessed some way.
It's always that person like, hey, we've been concerned about him for a year now that he was going to do something. I'm like, where was the red flag?
Yeah,
did you not see it?
Who sold this man a gun? Yeah.
I think a lot of it is that we like to punish people for guns because it's easy. It's such a violent thing. We can punish the whole population for that and nobody objects to it. It's like you don't punish strip clubs because one strip club is running prostitution because that's an illegal thing that they're not supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shit. Fuck.
You know what we really need to
get into a gun control argument. How fucking original braincake.
No, I mean, what we really need to do is look at the individual themselves. What mentally changed for them to push them to that limit? Like, and how can we as a society fix that so that it doesn't happen to someone else? That's what really needs to happen. Instead of saying, oh, look, this guy fell off the fucking boat and now he shot up what God knows what with whatever kind of weapon, and the weapon's the problem, so we need to restrict the laws.
He shot
like,
off.
He broadsided a cow with a fucking AR-15. We need to ban him. He shot. He hit his head. So, that cow made him mad.
He shot the monkeys that were in the Stone Age. They were all gathered together for an experiment about how communities can thrive with the most intelligent monkeys all working together. They had Facebook on iPads, dude, and he shot all of them. Destroy the guns. Throw them in fires.
I'm with him on shooting the Stone Age monkeys. I'll take care of those real quick.
They take all the guns. We're going to go back to swords and knives, man, in a heartbeat.
That's
you got motherfuckers like Braveheart running down the highway, motherfucker.
England's got one of the highest violent crime rates in the entire world because of the no guns. It's just all no gunpoint robberies. We got to convince you to do it with a knife, and some people want to fight. And then Chicago, which has the strictest gun control in the country, I think has the highest gun violence.
See?
Well, that's where you can make a lot of money selling guns.
True.
I think as a society, the solution lies in looking at the root of the problem and not the problem itself.
That's all we're saying.
Well, Donald Trump tried to say that, and they were like, how dare you say mental health has anything to do with gun control?
Well, to be fair, I'm sure he said it in quite interesting ways.
He does.
The man,
wonderfully.
I think the people that shut up the school, I think, quite frankly, they were retarded. I don't know how they are intellectually.
There's no other way to explain how he talks. Like, it's strictly him. He's the only one in the world that probably talks that way.
Everything I say is articulated. The people of China.
That sounds like him as a robotic Star Wars character.
C-3PO, man. Come on, something.
Yeah. It was something about your microphone that made it seem so much more digital. And it was just like freaking Robo-Trump. Like, that's going to be something futuristic rednecks have.
Hello, you've reached the White House. Please press 1 to get a hold of me. Press 2 if I don't care.
You know, speaking of POTUS and all that interesting that follows him on social media, have you seen any news relating to this government hack that happened a couple of days ago? Well, it happened in March, but we're just now discovering that they had access to like quite a few government systems.
Who got hacked? That's my question.
It's called a program called Solar Wind, made by a company called Orion. It's a remote management software, and attackers basically injected malware into the update packets from Orion to the Solar Wind software, and was capable of accessing government systems, which so far I think it's the Treasury and there's a couple others that they know ran the software with those corrupted updates during that period of time. So attackers had access to the systems, and they don't really know what's the extent at which this is going right now, because literally every government branch uses the Solar Wind remote management software.
I mean,
they're kind of in freak out mode in the tech sector right now.
I hope that
why a nuclear program is on floppy disk, because you can't fucking hack it. And why would our financial info not be? We have no idea.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that whoever is in place for, figuring out who that was, I hope they figure it out. Like, that's all I can hope. And I hope that, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Do you guys think the average like CIA guy or whoever would be investigating that, do you think they have the people's best interest in mind? Or do you think, I think because at the end of the day, I feel like it would just be like, it's our job to protect us, America, from whoever this is and find out who it is. And that's pretty much what their job is. And I hope that they do that.
Well, that's clearly what they would do. I mean, they're not all Edward Snowden and would take society's stance on it. Like, no, I'm not doing this because it violates, our rights as a citizen of this country, instead of I'm going to do this for the protection of the country as a whole. Mm-hmm. I feel like most would fall in the latter category. That's why we don't have a lot of Edward Snowdens out there.
Yeah.
Another reason is because we have never given them amnesty. No whistleblower has ever come forward and been rewarded for it.
Right. We've always punished them. It's a bad thing. Don't tell our secrets to the people that we're spying on.
Yeah.
Even if it breaks our own laws and we're being hypocrites for doing it.
God,
it's they don't hurt the hypocrites in Washington, man.
No, they just straight up lie to Congress. No, we're not spying on the U.S. citizens. And then they'll be like, well, we might accidentally pick up some data from U.S. citizens while we're surveilling these other people. It could happen, but I can't say for a guarantee that we're listening in on U.S. citizens. And it's like,
what kind of answer is that, Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah. We've seen the evidence that you are. Like, how can you deny this?
Pretty much he's admitting, all the pictures you sent to your girlfriend, I got your dick pics, I got her boob pics, I got it all.
If I want them, I got them, because I'm the CIA.
But only by accident.
I mean, we was just trying to check your credit, and this happened. So
yeah, we was running a check on some other guy, and somehow your profile got tangled in with it, and then here we are.
Yeah, bitch, we don't kick down doors like the police. We just sneak in the back door through your digital stuff.
Hey, well, the other day...
you want to bet the happening was like somebody who worked at the NSA.
Yeah, imagine the petty crimes you could get away with being in the CIA.
Well, they never found the guy. It was like the entire fifth floor. They were like, who'd you get? Oh, okay, well, let's compile them. We're going to jump them on 4chan.
The fucking CIA uses 4chan.
I mean, most likely they probably do watch for cyber criminals.
Damn, dude.
Pedos and stuff like that, yeah.
That's true. There are a lot of people who have been like caught on 4chan, like a lot of criminals who have been found through 4chan banding together.
People talk about how like people in the CIA and in the NSA, they don't they're not involved with our businesses the way that Chinese government is involved with their businesses. But that's crazy to say that, because of course they are.
Yeah. Like, straight up, our government is in some ways no different than the Chinese government in the aspects of the rule of like facial recognition and the way that we apply that to citizens. Our social scores based off of our social profiles and shit like that. It's very much the same way that the Chinese Communist Party rules their country. Like,
well, the digital age is new to us. Like, we don't even understand we're getting fucked yet.
yeah.
And we won't until it's too late, most likely.
I think our government, if we ever develop a worldwide governmental system, it will be a digital governmental system. There's no way that it will be like a physical governmental system, simply because technology allows us to connect too easily over broad distances.
I'm having a maneuver here.
Well, I also had a fucking predicament over here. I looked down, and like for a split second, this chair is like my leg color, but it has a pattern on it. And I was like, did I fucking got mud all over my leg? I was like, I thought I had mud all over my bare leg.
I thought you said nut, man.
Had a nut on my bare leg.
No, I thought you said you thought you had nut all over your leg, man.
Yeah, just there. Like, can you imagine how terrible of a disease that would be to have? Like, you know, it's not just a wet dream, it's a wet fucking nightmare, wet reality.
You got podcast nut syndrome.
You just come like 7 or 8 times a day, like randomly.
Yeah.
Like, could be while you're cooking dinner, could be while you're in the shower.
It's just bukkake everywhere. At random. Mass bukkake.
Oh man, that would just suck.
You go up to shake somebody's hand and just have an orgasm.
No, it wasn't about you.
It wasn't about you. I have a disease.
I have a disorder.
I don't know. You could have made their day. You know, it wasn't about you, baby.
You have to explain. It's just the sensation of touch causes an overwhelming orgasm.
Yeah. Anything you touch, you come, except for the ground beneath your feet. That's the only thing. Anytime you grab a cooker, anytime you
oh my Lord,
grab somebody's hand.
Is it only by like touching someone? It's not bumping into them, right?
You know what? Yeah, maybe it should. It's more realistic if it's restricted just to human touch only. Yeah,
human touch only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that, you know, you would have to really run from somebody who was going in for a handshake. It's like Hambone said, man.
You get an accidental high five and just bust a nut in the middle of church.
Oh, so is the power of the orgasm, or the how to explain it? The release of the orgasm, is that determined by the amount of force in which you're touched?
Yes.
So for the high five, it's like this really explosive fucking just.
That guy's real useful when we run out of ammo, man. I just take the strongest person I know and keep slapping his hand, keep giving him a high five, just put him on the front lines and he'll mow motherfuckers down, dude.
Oh my God.
Slap five, slap five. As fast as you slap his hand, they can shoot one off.
You gotta reload the guy, man.
Like I said, there's bukkake everywhere. It's like a bukkake. What the fuck are them machine guns called? The ones that spin the barrel.
Fuck, dude. He could
Gatling gun.
Yeah,
Gatling gun.
The bukkake Gatling gun.
He could have a full-time job at a sperm donation bank.
Setting milk him like a cow, dude, with a machine on his wiener, just someone smacking his hand.
I learned something new about sperm donation banks, by the way. They limit the amount of sperm you can donate at an individual bank because they don't want to like oversaturate the gene pool or some shit like that in individual areas with your sperm. It's interesting.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
What's interesting is some of those kids never know that they were a sperm-doned child, and maybe they fall in love with somebody. What would be the accident of them falling in love with their, like said, sister or brother?
That's another reason they do it, is because they don't want too many people, like I said, in the same region or general area to have got sperm from the same donor bank, and it be the same individual sperm, and then those kids meet, and they don't want that to happen in that area, so they usually limit how much you can donate.
Well, I have a problem here, and it's who is going in the sperm bank so often they have to be told they can't come back anymore.
Is it
pay you like $50 for a sample or something?
They pay you $50 a sample?
50?
I know they pay you. I'm not for sure how much.
I think they pay you quite a bit for your genetic material.
But I'll tell you what I'm putting my money into. I'm going to invest in a sperm bank in the most homeless areas.
Oh, my God.
Just because they're homeless don't mean they got bad genes.
Yeah, let's pass all those mental illnesses on real quick.
Is it possible to go to every sperm bank in America, give them a load, and all of a sudden you have created a race of Americans that are you?
You just need to, you just need to move to a big city.
Yeah.
You just got to move to a big city where you can go to like 5 different sperm banks in a day. Like every day, and have relentless stamina too.
A question about, you said homeless people a minute ago, made me think of something, okay? I'm not judging or anything, but how come every homeless said person I see, like in this city or close nearby, they're always with a backpack with a brand new cell phone. They ain't got their priorities together. They're always on the phone yelling. And I'm like, where do you get the time to pay a bill? Oh, yeah?
Well,
Obama, you don't remember the Obama phone?
Who you going to call, though?
Who you going to call?
Call anybody.
Homeless busters.
The Lifeline program that pays part of your phone bill if you're poor? They extended the cell phones under Obama?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well...
That way, whenever we computer track everybody, you have no excuse not to get a phone.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the chip is in, we got you.
And also, usually when you yell at people in the streets about crazy homeless stuff, it freaks them out. But when you just talk to one person directly on a phone call, they don't usually take you to jail for it. So it's more useful to like just dial a random number and say crazy stuff than to like yell it on the street.
So they're calling
corner.
the weather line and like yelling crazy obscenities at it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they do like an inbound recording on lines that call in.
What?
On the weather line, like the local weather line. Do you not know that?
No.
It's, oh my gosh, you guys aren't aware of like the local weather line back home? It's the Budweiser weather line. It's like
no way.
Yes.
Budweiser weather line. What?
So I will give everybody this number. I don't care to like dox this number because it's an actual weather line for the area, and they broadcast it on the local radio station. It's 439-1390.
Wow. Go check it out. Budweiser weather.
And it just reads you a weather report of like the 5-day forecast. Brought to you by the Budweiser brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beer. That's
I found something from the strangest place. Rhett and Link, man. You're not going to believe what phone number they exposed me to by offhandedly mentioning it on an episode of Good Mythical Morning. You guys ever heard the number 1-800-666-1234?
No.
Pretty basic number, huh?
Sounds like
maybe
1-800-666-1234. Let's call it, guys. This is what they offhandedly mentioned on an episode of Good Mythical Morning with Rhett and Link.
It's an actual number?
Yes. Actually, it was Good Mythical More, so maybe that makes more sense.
Welcome to 1-800-666-1234. We're spread, wet, and ready for you right now. Come on, baby, let's play. If you're an experienced caller, you can enter your credit card at any time during this message.
No thanks.
How did they hand this number off is my question.
It was in an episode where they were talking about Starbucks Christmas coffees not during Christmas. and what the fuck? Like, it was like they somehow got onto the topic of numbers like that from their childhoods. And Red actually said it, and Link was like, "I'm not getting down with that. Like, we're moving on from this." But it couldn't get past me, so I had to type it in.
Okay, that's one of them numbers that was in the back of one of them cheap ass porno mags that you'd see, you know,
and probably has been there for a long time.
I have been one, so say, that I've looked through such said magazines.
Yeah.
And they've been the same damn little 1970s comic / number thing in every one of them since 1970.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Like,
well, I mean, do people still do that? Do people do dirty chat on the phone like that? Like,
I recently found out through a trucker friend that that's still big in the trucker world.
Oh, shit, it's big in the trucker world. What a bomb you just dropped.
You ever noticed every trucker you went by looks like us with these mics on talking?
Oh, shit. A lot of truckers out there jerking off on the road, man. Talking.
He's driving a 2-stick, son.
Never underestimate the lengths people will go to bust a nut, Kiwi.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it keeps you from fucking the truck stop hookers. I mean, so thank God for
get a free backwash.
Big in the trucker community was like caffeine pills and shit.
Yeah, and trucker caps.
What was that stuff? Stacker X or something?
Damn, dude. How much like business and snacks and stuff do you think gas stations would lose if truckers just stopped and were replaced by robots?
Well,
depends on how well implemented the entire chain of, the chain is.
Of course, you have much bigger concerns, if the robots are driving in place of, like, for example, the people who had those jobs previously and were replaced by robots. But,
I think they would lose a lot of revenue because snacks is where you make most of your money in a convenience store.
Is it really?
Yeah, the gas is what gets you there. What's inside is where you make your money.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I have heard that.
They don't make much money off gas.
Yeah, item placement is important in the store, too. The most sought-after items are usually further back in the store so that you pass things that you might want to buy on the way.
Those freaking candy, like, under the counter, like, eye level with children.
Yep. That's a reason they do that, is for kids to see it.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
But I don't think robots replacing truckers would have much of an impact on that.
Okay.
I would imagine that supplies would arrive in a more timely fashion without having to stop and rest on the side of the road.
Well, I was just saying, like,
a third of the males in the country are out of work, and that doesn't affect it at all.
They could transition. They could transition into positions where they look over the network traffic of the robots instead of completely retiring. They could be re-educated because they already know the logistics of the job and
learn to code.
Re-education. They're terrific. We're terrific at re-education here in America. It works so well with the coal miners.
You know what? I'm not saying we didn't say that this was happening today.
You're not going to take a chewing backwoods hillbilly that's been on the road for 30 years to put him behind a computer.
Yeah, it's true. It's really not logical.
He'll jump out the window because he can't stand not smelling the smell of diesel fuel, man.
They don't necessarily have to code. Their position could literally just be to look at a computer monitor of dots driving up and down the interstates and shit and make sure that the times are right on them. That these are arriving in this area at the right time. And they could change the GPS routing based off traffic and their general knowledge of the area if it's a run that they were familiar with.
I got an idea.
More optimistic view of this dystopian future than I do.
It is an optimistic. Yeah. Well, because I believe that if we invest the right amount of effort into realizing how to fix these problems, we can focus on educating people to get to that point. Like, you have to focus on, we're going to fix it in this way, and then we'll catch people up to that point, and then we'll go, okay, now we can fix it in an even better way because now everybody already has this bank of knowledge on top of it.
Yeah, it's like,
You know,
I mean,
it's like a snowball.
I understand what Gunboi is saying and saying like that's an optimistic view, but I
Because
also understand
in reality, it's not going to fucking happen.
But, you know, I think you bring a good point in saying we need to put some importance on it, though. If we're going to do that, let's at least agree to try. Let's at least agree to talk about trying, you know.
But I think it's going to be
that should have been more a part of the conversation in getting rid of coal mining. And some of the people who were in coal mining that ended up losing their jobs and stuff, that should have been something they talked about as well, even though, you know, it's not conducive to what they want, but don't completely write it off because then people might not try anything.
Right. And, you know, re-educating them, like you said, they send them to technical college, and you send everybody to the same field. Or
if you're going to do it, don't half-ass do it.
Wait a minute. Let's look at the entire problem and premise of a general region of issues with the re-education behind coal mining there, to re-educate them to work in different jobs of maybe not coal mining, but building factories on the coal mines, or maybe power plants on the coal mines, or windmills, or whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. I could see that.
Re-educating them for a more technical future, doing something on the computer.
I guess what
realize that these people are like, their education is already kind of lacking in some areas just because of the overall education of the time period they went to school. Mm-hmm. They're not up to snuff on literally everything because though the area that these people live in for the most part is isolated from a lot of stuff.
Not as like the newer generation coming in with technology, you know.
Yeah.
Well, let's not rosy this up either. You can't educate people past what the limits of their IQ are.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
There are people who are just not going to be able to do it. And then those jobs, those technical jobs, mechanic, factory worker, construction, that's all going to get replaced in the future too. Probably not long after the truckers get replaced. And so this massive loss in almost all these technical jobs is going to put about half the male workforce out of work. And then if you came after nursing and education, say that's almost the whole workforce. And so that's a major problem with the shrinking of jobs in the country because we're built on a model of continuous growth. You know, our economy can't stop growing. And so we have to constantly have more and more money for the average citizen and more money invested into it.
We need things faster and more promptly. Like Amazon's trying to do drone delivery, which would cut out the Amazon truck worker, which would cut out UPS jobs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And no one's looking at, well, how do we take these people that are going to be cut out of this job and maybe run them along the same avenues, but in some other form in that job.
Right.
Instead
Let's
of being
make it
the
a
person that moves the packages. You be the person that watches the robots that move the packages. You know, something like that.
Just make sure it's a part of the conversation to make that transition easier at all. Like, put that on the fucking news, please. Like, put somebody out who's actually talking about that. Let our president mention that for once, because it is a reality that, you know, technology and things are going to replace our jobs, and you know, something like coal mining, instead of sweeping it under the rug, and you know, just going out and shaking the hands of coal miners and taking pictures with them and just thinking that's good enough. Actually,
you need to, if you're going to take something away, you need to give something back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you have to at least either bump the position that the person is going to be, the job is going to be replacing. So move them to a monitoring position, or maybe somewhere else within the company entirely, depending on what type of company is making the changes. You know, whether it's factory or a coal mine, for example. Because I can imagine in a future, once we learn to autonomize vehicles, we're going to do it to all mining equipment. Because why would we want humans who have to take breaks and shit when we could have the mind run 24/7, 365, never stopping.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, they
raw
say they
mineral
always
to
want
finished
to
product.
clean up. They always say they'll clean up, but they never plant the amount of trees that they took.
Right. So maybe focusing more on reclamation rather than stripping.
Because we're running out of the great redwoods.
Well,
It takes hundreds of years.
in the mountains that we live in the region, you can see giant swaths of bald land where they've actually stripped it for the coal. And these are very old mountains. That's why they're smaller than the Rockies. They've eroded enough to be smaller. It's the theory behind it.
At the end of the day,
am I wrong about that, Gunner?
It looks like we're probably more of an eroded plateau than a true mountain range, because when you stand on one mountain and you look across to another mountain, they're mostly the same height. Okay. And so what that indicates is that probably it was all the same level at one point, and that water and
stuff is just okay. I got you. All right, it's going, Keegan.
Yeah, I think the point of it all is whether we take from somebody, take a job, whether we take from the earth, let's give back. Make sure when you take, you give back as well. And that goes for so many things in life. Like, if we all just made an effort to thinking about the things that are removed by our actions in the world and how we can put them back in to regulate, and that goes with relationships, that goes with jobs, that goes with everything.
Yeah, this year has taught us.
We need more people willing to work together too. I mean, that's a big problem. Is that we see each other on opposite sides of issues, and instead of working together to try and find a middle ground, solve that issue, we argue over which way we're going to do it, and nothing else gets done.
And we try to take from the other team, or what we see as the other team, and at any cost, we dig at them when they're wrong.
Ourselves.
Yeah. I mean, it's how many people wanted to see Donald Trump fail just because they felt like he was on the opposite end of the spectrum from them, or what their beliefs are. I hope the man succeeds as much as possible. We should all hope that one another succeed in whatever it is that we're doing, and just try to compromise and give and take and understand how we can all live better.
Really.
Yeah, coexist.
I always thought when I was younger that the purpose of society and government was to build for a better future. My parents are laying the foundation for my future to be better and more luscious than theirs. And I feel like in a general way, we're reaching it, because every generation has new technologies, new distractions of all sorts, I'll say. But it doesn't seem like, as a whole, overall, society is going, well, we need to just go ahead and settle the disputes on this shit because it'd be better for everybody overall. Let's throw this ball further up the hill. No, they stand there and argue about how big the ball is, and nothing ever gets done.
And who's going to get the praise for rolling the ball?
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
And who fucked up and let it roll back down the hill.
I'm going to say this, that our county has the money to pave all the roads in that county. Only the major highways are paved with blacktop. But see, here's the thing. If they can't gravel a road during election time, why would they vote for you? That's how they get you.
Oh God, fuck. See, every time you get onto this topic of the world as we know it and the powers that be, and it's hard to be optimistic. It's hard to even be pessimistic, because it's in such general terms. It's hard to categorize, what exactly we're doing. But
I'll say that
ultimately we're all a part of the give and take in a way. No matter whether that's a good thing, a bad thing, that's the way of the universe, is a give and take.
Yeah. But I'm optimistic in an abstract way. I try to look at society from an abstract point of view. This is my idea view of it. This is reality what I expect to happen because I'm not crazy. I do live in reality. But this is what my idea of you is, and this is somewhere in between that things are kind of gray, and it would be great if something along these lines would happen. You know, that's kind of the only way I can explain my optimism. Like, it's kind of a very cloudy, abstract view. Like Donald Trump, I may not agree with him personally as a person, but as a leader of a country, I would hope that he represents us in a light that allows us to move forward and not backwards in the worldview globally, you know, economically and even in government wise. But, you know, I can't change people's minds and opinions about someone regardless. So who am I to, you know, even fuck with it? So
God.
That's the reality setting in.
I mean, the pessimism makes you understand what the worst case scenario could be.
Oh yeah.
The realism is trying to assess the situation and understand what projections are real and what projections are you leaning into pessimism or optimism. And optimism is the hope that the best possible thing happens. That's what it's like to have, you know, fucking somebody coined the term objective optimism or something. Like that's what we all need, is to understand at best what we could all do, the best we could all be, and realistically try to reach that point.
Yeah. It's kind of like I always said, if you expect the best and or hope for the best but expect the worst, and if something in between happens, you know, what do you got to complain about?
Hope for the best and at least prepare for the worst.
I say expect the worst. If you expect the worst, then you're prepared for it.
True.
That's true. You can't be prepared for it unless you expect it. Yeah.
That's kind of how I look at it.
And if it's not the worst, then it's a good deal.
Right.
It's a cloudy gray area, man. Oh, sorry, Gunner.
Oh, you are. I was just saying it was very close to pragmatism.
Yeah. What was you saying, Adam?
Oh, you'd mentioned something earlier that some industry was going to change.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's a lot of industries on the change now.
Yeah. Did you say porn?
I think that's what he was talking about.
Yeah, we briefly mentioned the whole debacle that happened recently with Pornhub and so apparently, as I understand it, because I didn't get in depth, I kind of got an overview of the story. I know that they purged a lot of content and locked it down to reputable creators or something like that. Only that you can watch on there right now. What was that?
So
verified profiles.
Yeah.
So what? They're removing pretty much everything except for verified profiles.
Yeah, they purged. God, let me see how many videos it was.
So basically, Pornhub has rode on the coattails of people illegally distributing other people's porn content, and now they're going to crack down on it after they fucking reached the top of the totem pole.
I'm going to give you
they're trying to trick you into paying for it.
Yeah,
they've got premium, and that's where you get all your long videos, and so that's where you're going to have to pay them.
Here you go. This is a headline topic for you from The Guardian, so you know it's good. Pornhub removes millions of videos after investigation finds child abuse content. It says Purge removed content from unverified users and by Monday had reduced the content of the popular adult site from 13 million videos to just 4 million.
So they purged, did you say they purged their own because of child abuse content?
They purged all content from unverified users.
Okay.
And
because of child abuse content.
What they're saying is they found a video of an underage girl and they use that as the excuse, because they do that all the time and they just remove them.
Yeah.
And but what they've done is they've used this excuse to purge all the unverified profiles so that you have to pay for all your content.
Yeah.
If you want premium content.
But I do agree with if there was child abuse in any situation, that please remove that from that kind of material.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
really get to the meat and potatoes. Pornhub did this because Visa and MasterCard cut ties with the company and all related websites because of the child abuse content. So Pornhub was like, all right, nuke the motherfucker. How you like that?
Oh, so they
It's
were
not there
fine
now.
with it. So they were fine with it being on there until it started
it's
to
not
affect
that.
their money
I would
and their
say
service.
that they had a loose filter that kind of worked to catch the content. It wasn't like YouTube hitting people with DMCA takedown notices or copyright notices, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of just like if they found it, it was removed. But if not, then it was still there.
But yeah, like
then they
Gunboi said, they've pretty much decided to just purge a bunch of people off of their platform just so they can, just have their verified people on there.
Well, as of right now, to become verified, you just have to make an account and take a picture of yourself nude with the word Pornhub wrote on you, I think.
This is pretty much like a fan, OnlyFans or whatever it's called.
No, it's just Pornhub. It's an active porn website. Free.
That is the weird.
Quote free.
You'll notice, though, that if you're uploading videos that you've stolen from, say, browsers that are free because you're posting them that are 40 minutes long, right? The average length of, because even porn is getting longer now. Because YouTube videos did that a while back. Now porn, it's more popular to have 10-minute in-depth videos, and so if you're uploading other people's 10-minute in-depth videos, you can't write Pornhub on the screen of your computer and verify that that's where that's coming from. So people people that are basically pirates on their website is who they purge.
Which,
as well.
Like I said earlier, Pornhub and many other porn sites have been riding on the coattails of success for a long, long time, is by, loosely navigating, removing that type of stuff from their service. I mean, if they removed all of that stuff from their service, then they would have had a lot harder point reaching where they are today. But
the 40-minute not the child abuse.
Well, the longer the video, the more analytics they get.
Are we gonna circle back around? Like, are we gonna have an era where most porn is not free? And maybe that's the right move. Like, honestly, maybe it's a good thing because but here's the thing. I see Gunboi shaking his head down there. I think the reason it's good is because it's going to lead it to where people who are producing that content are actually going to get paid for what they do. And I think that's a good thing.
They've been a lot of porn stars talk about the money they missed out on because of free websites.
And because of people taking their porn videos that they make people pay for and then distributing them to a bunch of people for free. Yeah.
But did you buy Metallica's Load?
Did I buy Metallica's Load? No.
I bought Reload.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've been illegally downloading.
I'm glad you bought Reload. That's 10 times better. Don't buy Load and buy Reload.
I mean, shit. I don't know. But how else are porn stars going to be able to make money if not? Because musicians, if they don't get album purchases, they can still make money from touring. So how can porn stars make money outside of porn?
But and I
merchandise.
But when you think about Game of Thrones, in the first season, Game of Thrones wasn't doing all that great on HBO. People kind of thought it was going to be like kind of a shitty knockoff Lord of the Rings TV show that didn't have the rights to any of the characters they cared about. And then the first season got pirated on a bunch of websites, and people started streaming it illegally. And that made it one of the biggest money-making shows, one of the biggest shows in HBO history, because of all the free advertising they got from piracy. And once people know that they like your content, they don't care to pay. Like, I don't care to pay for pornography, but I'm not going to watch a 5-minute clip of something.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah, it's like, how else may you find that porn star if not from somebody who illegally uploaded them, And then that's when you find them and like them and go support their content, go to their page or whatever. Yeah, just do that, man.
The only reason, if anything, the only reason that porn is making as much money as they are right now is because of all the free advertising.
I mean, we're kind of in a freaking boom right now for like, what would you call it?
Amateur porn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, OnlyFans is like you can.
Well, see, I never knew about that until I got a TikTok. That's the only way they can advertise is like that, or something that's not really public.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is how many people on TikTok are just mainly there to advertise their OnlyFans?
It's not like you can go to the website and type in a name. That's not how it works, apparently. I've never been to it or anything. It's just...
Or at least if you can develop a fan base, you can lead people to OnlyFans to monetize your fame.
Right. I would say, a lot of OnlyFans accounts are linked to Twitter accounts.
I agree.
And a lot of people find porn stars from free porns on Twitter, and then they find out where other videos that those porn stars have been in through content that they share on Twitter. Like it's
Twitter.
It's kind of it's social networking in the entire sense of networking.
Yeah. It's hitting every platform.
So you mean to tell me we're going back to the old days where you just got to search it and to find it?
Yeah,
it's going back to waiting for your dad to leave for work to climb into the attic to get the key to unlock the dungeon to find his stash. Yeah. Kids out there don't understand.
Man, you know what? Some generation had that, but my generation, we had trying to figure out how to make sure the search history was cleared. That was
confident either.
No,
Never
you could
confident.
clear it 1,000,000 times and see there's no evidence on it, and you still feel like my parents know something I don't. They're gonna figure out how to find out what I was on, dude.
See, I lucked out. My generation, I grew up in a household where my parents had no interest in the computer, so they clearly had no idea what I was up to on the computer.
Yeah. Well, Random Hero one time got kicked out of my house for like a month because he got on sex.com.
Oh my god.
When we had dial-up, fucking and Playboy too. Playboy and sex.com were sites that were in their history, in their computer history.
Random Hero's what, maybe 3 years older than you or so? 4 years older than you?
Random Hero was out of high school when I entered high school. So he's 4 or 5 years older, yeah.
Okay.
He was showing me and my neighbor, who was also around closer to my age. He was like, dude, you guys gotta see titties like right now. I'm just starting to find out how to see titties, and I want to share that joy with you two youngsters.
I kind of want to elaborate because I may have started this nonsense with him. You always have that older friend that, hey, here's a set of titties. You ever seen this?
It's true. It's always the older friend. I actually have a specific memory of me and two of the neighbors. I fucking went inside my house. I was like, guys, I got to show you something. I was like fucking super young. And I got my portable DVD player. And I was like, titties, man, you got to see them. And I popped in Freddy Krueger and fast forwarded on my portable DVD player outside on the porch to show them the part where the ladies' boobies were.
Oh my god.
That's the extent you go through as a young man to see and share the joy of boobies.
It sounds like Americans have a lot of pent-up sexual prowess.
I mean, it seems like we should be the ones getting fucked by octopuses in our fantasies, not the Asians.
Right. They just embraced it.
kind of. They embraced it. Deep down, they embraced it, but deeply scrubbed it from their culture in a unhealthy way.
Dude, like talking about how it was like always the older friend. There was this guy that lives pretty close to you that was way older than me and stuff. And I'm in like 4th grade or something. He's like, "Have you had the sex talk yet?" I was like, "What's the sex?" And he's like, it's where your wiener goes in her mouth. She gets pregnant. Like, and he wouldn't leave me alone about it. You know, it's weird.
Fuck. He's like, he heard the word oral sex, and he was like, oral means mouth, and sex means sex, and sex means pregnancy, so you can fuck a bitch with oral sex and get her pregnant.
This is also a dude who thought you have to blow up a condom like a balloon and stick it up her ass. Like,
what?
This is what this guy told me. Like,
experiment.
I'm like 10 years old, man. This guy's pumping me full of this bullshit, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, pumping you full is not the appropriate way to phrase anything for that time period or that topic. Yeah, I remember.
I don't even know how to touch that one. I'm not even going to touch that one. That one's
that one's steamy.
Yeah, man.
Oh Lord.
There's something about the sharing of it, like Newgrounds. You guys ever freaking see that like porn stuff on Newgrounds? Like it was like games, dude. That was a part of my era too.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Porn was the greatest.
Wasn't there a game on Xbox or something? It was like his name was Larry or something.
Leisure Suit Larry.
What?
That's it. Yes.
What about it? It was Larry.
It was a porn game for like Xbox and PlayStation. It was totally stupid.
What? Now I've heard of Leisure Suit Larry. I never purchased it. I mean, I just heard of it. What is it?
I'm pretty sure it's not like directly porn, but I think you play as like a director of porn or something like that.
Yeah. And you like direct the film and like how you want it to be, but it don't really show anything, you know.
Man. I looked up Leisure Suit Larry and I see what looks like a building in the background, but it's shaped like a penis.
Right.
So building shaped penis. That's what you get in Leisure Suit Larry. I mean, what a bunch of beautiful misogynists we are. Thank God for your sexuality, Jern, excusing us straight men on your behalf.
I mean, I practiced being straight for a majority of my life. It's nothing new to me. So
yeah,
we respect it.
Well, we have to say misogyny is probably much more rich in the male gay community than the lesbian. You know, like the massage because you're a man and you like men still. So wait a minute. Do you ever objectify men? Because we could use that to our advantage. We should talk about that more often in our defense.
Objectifying men?
Yeah. Yeah, like you objectify men. And I'm offended by that as a straight man for you to objectify me. Like you make
here's the down low on this. Not to burst your straight man bubble. I don't want to burst your straight man small bubble here, but
no, why does my bubble got to be small, man? What the
gay and bisexual men objectify other gay and bisexual men, because why would we objectify a straight man who's never going to be interested in us in a sexual way?
Oh, there's definitely dudes who are gay who objectify straight men. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there are.
That can exist.
I mean, you know, if listen, dude, men... We objectify a lot of things. Okay.
This is true.
We
where does the straight dude fit into the lesbian fantasy? You know, he can't have sex with them, but he's still looking at him.
Yeah, it's you want it, but you can't have it. That's the ultimate pull. I mean, that you should probably objectify more straight men, and they're more common on average. So I bet you do objectify straight men more often. You're insensitive. You're canceled.
But I'm innocent, Your Honor. I mean, I never know if they're straight or not.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's not like they walk around with a rainbow badge.
See, there's people going by different names now, or like they may totally look like a girl, but they don't identify as a girl. And how do you say hi to someone now? Like, I'm afraid to piss somebody off. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or anything.
Don't be afraid to piss somebody off. If they get pissed off, it's better to be pissed off than pissed down.
Well, that is true.
My thing is, I'm going to do whatever I think. I'm going to behave in the way that I think is okay. I'm never going to disrespect anybody. And if you want to correct me on something, I'll probably just tell me, and I'll probably do whatever you want, man.
That right there is what the whole nation needs.
A reasonable person won't scream in your face because of shit like that. If somebody gets mad at you over something like that, they're probably not a reasonable person. You're probably better off ending the conversation with them.
Mm-hmm. So I generally told people at work when they would ask me, like, are you, how do you identify? I'm just like, just call me by my name and I will respond to you. And honestly, it doesn't matter what people say to me. It's just a noise to get my attention. And once I look at you and focus on you and you know that you have my attention, then you continue on with whatever you were going to say. Whatever you say beforehand is just to get my attention. I don't care what it is, You're making some noise out of your vocal cords, and that is drawing my attention to you.
And you know what? If you want me to make a different noise, I'll make it. If you'd rather be called Jeff over Jenny, I'll call you Jeff instead of Jenny. Like, if that's what you want to be called, just let me know.
Right.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I mean, man, I don't think most of those people, like, even making that argument, I don't think there are a lot of people like that, really. I don't think there are a lot of people walking around just ready to scream at you over like you calling them the incorrect gender pronoun.
Well, I imagine it may be people too that is their entire lives they've been looked down upon because of the way that they want to do it. So it's like in a way, it's their outburst of this is who I am. Don't ever confuse it with anything else. Mm-hmm. It's the only way they know to show that to people. They've never had someone actually sit down and say, well, okay, well, how do you want to be? What would you like me to refer to you as? And I don't ever approach anyone and assume. I never think of their gender when I'm just approaching someone anyway. I usually wonder, well, what is their name? I don't ever think, well, I'm going to say ma'am or sir, unless it's just in general, like, well, thank you, or, something like that. I've tried to drop all gender pronouns or references from my speech entirely when speaking to people I don't know, because that way I don't ever have to worry about it. Does it dumb me down in a way when speaking in public? Yeah, but you know what? That's fine because that's what people want.
Yeah. I don't care. And
I have no quarrel with, the transgender community or anything like that. Live your best life. You be you, home fry. If you want to identify as whatever you want to, who am I to argue with you being happy with yourself and your life? Be you, but don't expect the rest of society to always be on your side about it. Respect the fact that other people will disagree with you. And be like, okay, well, that's them living their best life, the only way that they know how.
Yeah,
right.
The only problem that I ever saw is the same thing that I see in feminism, which is that sometimes people do not like to be made fun of in any capacity, and that bothers me.
Nobody should be being hateful to everyone. Everyone should be able to understand, like, I got a different belief than you, but we can move through this together.
People need to understand humility in a lot of ways too, because that's where a lot of comedy comes from, is the ability to accept being humiliated to bring joy to others in a way. whether it's self-humiliation, some comics do, some others pick on the crowd, some pick on, they take on racism, sexism, genders, you name it. They take it all on. But it's a way to introduce humility, like, oh, well, haha, let's chuckle together for this moment in time, because who cares what's going on in the greater aspect of things? This is what we're focusing on right now, and we're just going to have a laugh about it.
Yeah.
Because it's a way to cope and move forward.
I have the same heart as you. I bleed the same as you. Why? Like, why is that such a human thing? Like, you don't see deers over there making fun of other deers and say they got less spots than you, man. They're a bad person.
That's a really like beautiful way of putting that I never really thought about. Because like, I've been to those comedy shows where like they pull you or your family up on stage and like basically completely embarrass you for some duration of time in front of a crowd. Public humiliation is like one of the most jarring things. Like, nothing makes your heart rate go up quicker or your breathing increase more than being embarrassed in public. But, when you think about it in a certain terms of like, you're just the martyr for everybody else's enjoyment, it's not so bad,
Matt, your phones have died.
Oh, okay.
Well, and now you are all extremely quiet, and I think I'm going to have to actually bail on it.
Oh my gosh, Gunboi.
So I'm going to be tapping out early. It started making a ding noise like 2 seconds ago, and it just died immediately.
You don't got to tap out early. I say it's about time to wrap this up anyway. It's a pretty...
We've been going since like 10:20 something.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go
it's been a wonderful cake.
Then.
We finally reached a point of optimism anyway. Good note to end on.
Right.
So... yeah, that's funny. Gunboi, his audio is actually better without I think it was picking up audio from your headphones. Like, your headphones have an audio in thing.
Possibly.
But, all right. I'm gonna end this. Anybody else have any final words?
I really hope somebody gets something out of this, because, this was very just neat of an experience.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's podcasting, man. Hopefully we can
we could introduce some new ideas to people that haven't looked at topics in the way that we have,
Hopefully
let's inspire thought.
Hopefully you enjoy our perspective, or at least our perspective makes you so angry that you make yours even more
engage with our content.
Yeah.
Leave comments and reviews and just let us know that you exist in one form or another.
Don't waste your time
through hate or through love. Just let us know.
That's right. Don't waste your time hating or loving some random Twitter user's post and sending them into stardom, or making somebody a meme. Do that to us, guys. We're actually wanting it. Okay? So just do it to us. Share our content. Engage with our content. We love you. We want to love you. We don't know you. But if you get to know us, then we'll get to know you in a kind of sort of way.
Yeah. Yeah.
How sexist I am.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell Gunboi how sexist he is, dude. Talk about my small bubble. Whatever you want to do. Just make sure that you engage, like, subscribe, and keep coming back for more cakes, because we're going to keep serving them.
You can tell me and Jimmy what we need to do with our beards. I mean...
That's right. Well, we bid you farewell. Have a great day, great night, great morning. We'll see you next time.
Auf Wiedersehen.